Hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. How are we all?
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Hello there.
Hello. Good evening.
Good
How are
evening,
we
good
all
evening, good
doing?
evening, good evening. Well, hey.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Oh gosh, it almost felt like we were starting all over again, having to do the whole 3 hours again there. It was a bit daunting.
How are we all? Is everybody okay? Recovered okay from the night before? I'm not sure we have. So, welcome to our Sunday Brunch behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Here we are, behind the scenes.
Welcome.
We've moved you around a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a proper tour in a minute. But yeah, every Sunday after the show, we talk about each collaboration and what we decided to do and why we kind of made those decisions, and then lots of other stuff today, like maybe we could talk about that intro video and things like that, and we might talk about stuff we've been listening to that's been inspiring our music recently and all that sort of stuff. So
Fun stuff.
So we hope you're okay. We hope you enjoyed the show last night. Pop a message in the chat and let us know you're watching, and if you enjoyed the show last night, that'd be really lush to hear from you.
And any questions as well that you have about what we did last night or what we're doing right now, or whether you should go for a walk later. I don't know, any question you have, just let us know, and we'll try and answer it as best we can.
I think so. Yeah.
And the answer is yes, you should go for a walk later if the weather's nice.
Yeah. Or if it's not. Okay. Do you want to talk about the video?
Oh, first? Yeah. Let's start with that little video that we put together to sort of, it's a little tiny couple of seconds from every single show that we've done so far, both the time lapses and then also every single hello. But the very beginning, with the little sound wave and the soundscape around it, it's a mixture of three sounds mostly, a bunch of kookaburras laughing, an audience going wild, and some rain on some tin rooftops, I think, and to just sort of get you all listening, I suppose. Get you ready for what was quite a long and, well, in my opinion, incredible show. But you're entitled to your own opinion. I don't know what it was like watching it, but it was great to put together. But yeah, that sort of thing was inspired by a video game that I used to play a lot as a kid, and from that was inspired by I think it's THX, which is like a sound, like Dolby Digital sound, and it was always play at the beginning of a film of like, whoa, experience the sound of the cinema that you're sitting in. And then this video game took it a bit differently. It's called The Curse of Monkey Island. It's like a puzzle game where you're just sort of trying to figure out. It's all like cartoon and really, really funny. But it's all around these monkeys. And so at the beginning is like a massive troop of monkeys. They all just sort of start giggling, and then it goes absolute chaos, and then it goes away, and then a little message comes up on the screen. The monkeys are listening, and I just thought it was like a really cool, like gets you hooked. It's like, I'm ready for the game now.
Oh,
so
the monkeys
we
are
did
listening.
that for the kookaburras were listening. Maybe I should have put that under.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, next time. But anyway, that was just a bit of fun. Get us started and say hello to you 13 times, 14 times, however many shows we've done. Oh, the camera.
Should we do a tour?
The camera's behind there. Don't know why I put it over
why
there.
put it back there?
I'll
Hang on.
grab it.
All right. We've got a little roaming camera, and we'll give you a bit of a tour of all our many, many, many screens.
There you go.
Thank you. So, should we start over here? Oh, look, everything's still covered in paper from Miggy's one. So
there it is, roaming camera is on.
Here is my keyboard.
That's Charlie's keyboard. You're quite far away from the mic there. Do you want me to?
Oh, yeah.
I'll do the camera.
Okay. Here's my keys and my party hat, pads for drums and other samples and stuff. There it is. On my laptop here, I have our big old document where we keep like all the information about every poem. So like the poets' bios, they're about their pieces, and then bits of information about what we kind of decide to play, because we listen to all the poems on the Friday and the Saturday, and then improvise music around them a little bit and kind of get a vibe of what we're going to do. So we kind of just put in like the key and maybe an instrument that we're going to play. But other than that, everything is made up on the show. We just do like a starting point altogether. Then at our feet, we've got our loop pedal, which has 6 loopers on it. So each pedal responds to a different instrument. So like these are my vocals, these are my keys, this is the guitar, these are all basses, my ukulele bass, the electric bass and the double bass. Is that your keys, number 5? And then Jake's vocals, number 6.
Yeah. And that all corresponds with this control setup on the iPad, which has, again, all of those loopers at the top. And then, so like, although generally it is like all my vocals go into number 6, we can change it if we want to and move it to loop 1 or 4 or whatever, and turn them all on and off, and a few other effects and all the controls to like record, play. Quite complex, but
at least it's colourful.
Yeah,
that really helps.
Yeah, and we've used it so much now that we're pretty well versed in it. It's become an instrument in its own right, in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then another iPad that controls some of the instruments that we play. And not in focus. And also all the poems. All the poems are set up here, so we can just trigger them whenever we like, and then they'll show up on here, which is the infinite zoom in of the classic. Love doing that. So that's where you are, and the chat, and seeing all the chat going on is really lovely. And then over here is Ableton, the powerhouse that sorts it all out, which you can see our little audio things going up and down there. And everything happens in here, really. All of the looping, all of the setting up what instruments are being played by who, and what effects are on, and then what these knobs and dials do, and my pads and little keys, and then a couple of keyboard. Oh, yeah. And then a piano. And some keyboards on some keyboards. Now some keyboards in some keyboards, some keyboards on top of the keyboards. Lots of keyboards.
What about the phone? Have you done the phone?
The phone controls the titles and stuff, which I won't press any of them because some of them will take us away from this view, and then you'll lose the view. But yeah, to bring up the titles and show the birthday cards that we had going on, that was really nice.
So sweet.
There's my coffee.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
I've got a biscuit over here as well. I hope you've got a coffee and biscuit as well. So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a quick. Oh, there's the double bass.
Yeah.
There's the other bass.
There's the other bass.
Yeah.
There
Good.
I am. Good. So that's that.
Right, let's go back to that view again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of screens and there's a lot going on. I will say that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a challenge doing it in a live venue, isn't it? I'd say.
Yeah.
But we'll make it work. I don't know if we'll stream it and play. We'll see.
It's all challenges for the future.
It's all learning. Okay.
It's all learning. Yes.
So let's have a look at what we did for each track then, maybe. And if you do have any questions, then please do let us know in the chat, and we'd love to answer them.
Yeah.
So first we had Tara Griffin's piece, Sound of Summer. And it was such an evocative kind of piece. And I know, like, Tara's really into like soundscapes and sense of place through sound. So we wanted to create something that musically represented what she was creating.
Yeah.
So we went for something really kind of lo-fi and chilled, and
Just slow summer days when everyone's just chilling out and not worrying, just absorbing the sun, absorbing the environment around you.
And we talked about like big funky situations too, like big summer anthems. But actually, Tara's delivery is so chilled that it was the only thing to do, really, I think, was to keep it really relaxed too.
Definitely.
It was lovely guitar as well, Jay.
Oh, thank you. I'm not really a guitarist, but I can play a couple of chords and put loads of lovely effects on it. So
Lovely.
It's sounded nice. Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the shows we want to do in the summer. We want to do one kind of about sense of place and location, and invite everybody to send in poems about a place. It doesn't have to be where you live, just a place that means a lot to you. But if you can, then also getting a sound recording just on your phone of however long your kind of poem is. I think that would be really cool to really place it within the space of the place that you're talking about. That's going to be really fun, actually.
And the next piece as well from Black Swan and Robin was also very much around that idea. We felt like, especially with the way that they put together their video, with the shots of them both walking in their respective spaces and their places. And then you hear a bit of the sounds as well. It's not just the footsteps. You're hearing like the city soundscape and the nature and countryside soundscape around their voices. That's just something. We've sort of been thinking about it for a couple of months now, and we really want to do something where it sort of celebrates that, like locations and I mean, this one it was really nice to create the two different sound worlds as well, to match their two different sort of poem worlds, and then it's wonderful.
Like a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's something that Black Swan and Robin often do in their work. Is that this, as they said in their introduction, it's this dialogue between all the differences between the two of them, but then also the similarities as well, of course. And it was really nice to have these, a world for you and a world for me, and we just rocked back and forth with it. So I was very excited to do that sort of thing. It's something we do all the time. I mean, we've got a whole Sonic Souvenirs pad of different sounds that we've collected and recorded over the years of certain locations, and it really is, it's beautiful to just listen to things, and not only like to have that record later and be able to just press play and this one, for example, which is a Swiss lakeside. Immediately. I mean, I created this recording, so I transport myself there very, very easily. But to share that with other people as well. But then also when you're doing the recording, I find that it is very ear opening. Of just like, okay, well, I need to be silent because I'm recording. So then I'll actually listen to everything that's going on, and then that little bird, and then you hear, there's a little bird in that tree, and there's another one over there, and they're talking to each other, and then there's kids playing down there, and then the flagpole, there we go, they're like hitting on the side of the boat mast or something. Just all these little tiny details that when you sit down with a purpose to record something, it's really nice to just focus in and listen as well.
Especially in the digital age.
Well, exactly, yes.
We've all got walking around with our headphones in.
Yeah. So
beautiful.
Those two really talked to that sort of idea, and we want to do more of that. So.
Hey Mark.
Hi Mark.
Thanks for watching. I hope you saw your collaboration with us and Fra. It was amazing. Really, Fra just like brought the vibes, and it was so lush. Yeah. Oh, I loved that one. I cried the first time I played along with Rara. I cried a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we did a bit of a look back at Echoes and Edges and our album that we made last year. And that's it, Glory in the Bone, which you can listen to on Spotify. And the animation there of Chin 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 Chinchilla, Tim's poem, we spent... oh, that's nice. We spent... it was. I remember it very clearly being August bank holiday in 2019, or maybe 2018.
No, I think it was
2019. It was the hottest day of the year, and we decided that was the day that we were going to cut out all of the bits of that animation and animate it. And it took all day, and we had to have a totally dark room, so tin foiled the windows. And it was so... oh, you've not been to our house, but it is so hot in here, like all the time. It's just like a little greenhouse. And you've not been to our house. But yeah, so it was just absolutely baking, and it was so silly. What a silly thing to have done. But the video was really lush, and we're really proud of how silly that animation turned out. And matches Tim's delivery and Tim's poetry. Pretty well, we think.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
And then we had Leanne. Everything's Fine. Such a cool poem. So funny. Really, really cool. This idea that the alarm is on and that everything is fine. Yeah, really nice. So what did we do for that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I couldn't remember the name of the device that we used on her voice last night, but I've looked it up now, and it's called a spectral resonator that sounds really funky and cool, and it is funky and cool. That it takes like I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it takes, you can play a MIDI keyboard into the computer, and it takes the harmonic information of that, what you play, and sort of applies it to the voice in a different way to a vocoder. I think the vocoder does it like the other way around, or like it's more rhythmic in the way that it does it. I'm not sure, but it really like it spreads out the voice to those notes and makes it like there's a choir, a digital choir of Leanne all sort of singing along. And yeah, unfortunately it's done using a new version of Ableton Live, which I'm not able to use for our live show yet, so we can't do it live. But one day we will be able to, and I can't wait to be able to live voice like.
What? So I could sing in and play the chords, and it would
harmonize, just like Jacob Collier with his
harmonizer.
His harmonizer, that's the one, which I think he developed with some technicians from MIT, bespoke for his for the music and the live shows that he was doing. But now it's slightly more possible just for us, and so yeah, really excited to get that going and do that. But then the other bits and pieces that were going on was, let me just it'll turn some effects on our voice, but we can just remove that.
Hello.
Was some sounds that I've created using a piano that was specifically for this purpose of deconstructing it and recording it and creating sounds out of it. So I think on your keys this is the sound of the piano that I recorded every single note on the piano one by one, and it's out on the veranda in my parents' house back in Reading. So like you get like the sound of the world around, and like sirens going past and a dog barking on one of them as well. I can't remember which note it is.
There's the siren.
Yeah. And then I also recorded
sure the
it.
dog's high up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay. I also recorded it when it was raining. There it is. Lovely. And I did lots and lots of different things with it. Like hitting the notes with hitting the strings with a beater, but then also dragging a rubber beater along the notes, along the strings, which created a very sort of like weird noise like this.
Wow.
And again, it's got all the sounds in the background of like the garden. But yeah, I did everything. You can't really hear there's no harmony in it, even though I recorded every single note individually and then spread them out onto the keyboard here. But it's just really haunting, and I thought it really fit well with Leanne's piece and her delivery and the idea behind it. It was such a cool piece. And then there's also the percussion which was going on, which is lots of different sounds that I recorded when I did a project called I was part of a project called Land Dance in Dorchester, where they were creating a piece of like performance dance and music that was composed and improvised by another composer, and then I was sort of assistant on the project, and I was creating lots of electronic sounds and sampling this market square where the performance was going to happen. That's this really lovely old Victorian, I think, like big pillars and then a high roof, but open to the elements really from all sides, where they had the market every week. And so I just sort of hit lots of the iron pillars with different beaters and sticks and recorded it all. And then also just nearby there was a skate park that the audience was going past as well. So I recorded some of those sounds.
Oh, cool.
And chopped
You
them
must
up.
have had to get pretty close to those unruly teenagers in the skate park.
Oh, yeah, but I was tough back then. No, I was quite far away, actually. I just sort of sat by the side and just recorded it for a bit. Just recorded like a whole 20 minutes and then chopped it up later and spread it out. There's another bank of sounds of like the market hailers as well, where they are all just like, 2 for £1, and all of that, which was good for the piece that I was working on, but not so much for this one. So I didn't use it. But all combined, it was quite like a chaotic and apocalyptic soundscape, which was very fun to create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wondered if we could listen to Leanne without any of our noises and just with the
spectral resonator.
The spectral resonator.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Everything's Fine.
Everything's fine. This is the Everything's Fine alarm, which we've installed so that you know everything's fine. It takes a bit of getting used to, but the ringing in your ears will fade after 4 to 6 weeks, and cases of alarm-induced tinnitus have not been scientifically proven. Are you sure you didn't have it before you came here? Don't worry if you can't remember, because everything's fine. Relax. Everything's fine. Don't worry if you have to raise your voice. Conversation is overrated anyway, especially now, because everything's fine. Relax. We've done extensive laboratory testing to ensure that everything's fine. All the surveys we've conducted came back with the same result. Everything's fine. Relax. There's nothing left to worry about. You may not be able to catch every word or even be able to hear yourself think, but thinking is overrated anyway. And the only thing you need to think about now is the fact that everything's fine. Only 5% of people experience the dizziness, and that nausea you're feeling will settle soon, because as you can hear, everything's fine. Should you experience any bleeding from your ears, you can be safe in the knowledge that actually everything's fine. Don't worry about any noises you might hear outside, the ones that sound like explosions and rioting and hordes of hostile undead tearing at the perimeter fencing. We'll just turn up the alarm because everything's fine. There's nothing left to worry about. Stay calm, don't panic, everything's fine. There's no need to be afraid, as long as you can hear the alarm, everything's fine. The smell of smoke is normal, the heat on your face is normal, the sound of the siren is normal. Don't worry, as long as the alarm is on, everything's fine.
That's great.
Yeah, lovely to hear that again. Great piece.
Awesome piece.
Mm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So then we had anything else about Leah?
No, I don't think so. There was
That was
quite a lot
great.
going on, but I think we
Yeah.
covered everything.
Then we had lovely Lisa Lopresti.
Mm.
This poem about the clouds and how you'll never cry alone. And this one was kind of really easy to put together, like in terms of we just knew immediately what kind of world we wanted to create, and we knew that there'd be a lot of harmony and singing and lots of layers of vocals and kalimba, thumb piano, and then you played bass, right? And we just needed to create something that was dreamy and in the clouds.
Yeah.
And,
I think this is another one like the one from Black Swan and Robin and from Tara that's such a space around it already, such a specific location and time and space that we just entered into as well, and joined Lisa for the ride, I suppose, of like the journey that she took and the space that she was in and the environment around her, and it's we love doing that.
it was lush. So lovely. And then it was Mark's poem, The Glory, from May last year. And Fra joined us on drums, and it was just magic, wasn't it? I just loved it.
Yeah. So
When
cool
did
to
you
try this
film?
out.
When did you film it? A few weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. And it was she just improvised to the version of the track that we did back in May. Just sent that to her, and she listened and played along a lot. And then I did a little bit of editing just to sort of piece together the different takes that she did, and then it was wonderful to be able to play along to like live drums that were constantly changing rather than just one bar loop that I create normally. So that was really, really awesome.
Thank you, Fra, for watching.
Yeah,
It was great. And Fra's also in She-Wolves, if you've not seen She-Wolves yet. That was amazing from last month too. God, we're tired, aren't we? We're talking about 50% the speed that we were talking last night.
But it was really awesome, and it really, I think, it's the first time we've ever sort of had properly synced up music kind of going alongside us, and it was a bit of a technical challenge to get that to work and to stay in time because normally we're just triggering a poem that can happen at any time, and there's not often like a set rhythm, but it worked really well. And even having like a little loop, I don't know if you noticed at the end, but there's like an 8-bar loop of Fra drumming that would potentially just go on forever. So we had all of this build up where it's all playing live, and then we had this chunk that was just repeating, because often we like to just expand the pieces that we do if we want to sing again or just do it solo or whatever. So it was great to be able to do that, and then have trigger the final bit where she'd come together and then do the final finish and hit that smash for the end. And that was really cool, and I think we'd love to do that again with other instrumentalists and musicians and
brass.
Yes,
I'd love some brass.
Oh yes.
So if you play anything, then let us know, and we'll
we'll see if we can.
Particularly if it's brass. I knew that was what you were laughing at.
Well, just as well, it's like, just butt in with brass. Yes. Brass, got to be brass.
Brass. It can be whatever. That was really, really cool and really exciting to think about where that could go in the future, that kind of
definitely.
idea.
Yeah.
Then we had a break.
Then we had a lovely break.
Yeah. Then it was, Rebecca's Come Let's Dance.
Oh, yeah.
Blues in B flat, please.
Oh, yes.
No problem. Oh, it was the 50s. It was so nice.
Yeah. I mean, if we had have been we're not really rock and roll musicians. So
Funnily enough.
rock and roll was a little bit beyond our abilities, but slow it down a bit and just turn it into a nice blues, and it was much more manageable for us. But it was lovely though.
Earlier in the, because we listened to it last weekend when we picked them, and we normally send the email out on. So the deadline is 7 p.m. on Saturday. We normally listen to them Saturday night and then get the emails out Sunday or Monday. And on the Sunday, we thought, because sometimes the music just is, as we've said before, is just quite obvious to us what poem needs. It's like, it's like sometimes you guys, maybe you guys had a track in mind and we can hear that, or we can, we know what it's going to fit with. And others we're sport for choice in what we can do, but there are some like this one which are just really like, okay, we know what we need to do. And then, so initially I was playing keys and Jake was playing double bass, and we were trying it really fast. We were trying it like pretty slowed down. I spent like a few times this week kind of looking up rock and roll piano tutorials, trying to work out how to play it. And in the end, I was like, no, I'm just going to play bass and you play piano. Let's stick with what we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But
that
it's
was lovely.
Yeah, it was such a lovely one, and I think clearly a really personal piece to Rebecca, a really something that really meant something to her about her grandparents, and so that was that was really, really lovely. So thank you for sharing that, because it was, as always, it's really humbling when people send something that means a lot to them. And there were a few messages that we had this week as well that I didn't really want to share, but they were quite like, when somebody sent in something really quite personal, and to somebody, often in another country, that's a total stranger, to make music around their really, their story. It's a real privilege, and I've had a few messages this week kind of saying what that's meant to people, and it's meant the world to us, really. It's sort of beyond comprehension that somebody would send in something so somebody would send in part of their life in a poem, and send it to us to deal with care and sensitivity as best we can. Yeah. So, thank you, Rebecca. That was awesome. So then we've got the 5 musicians, 1 poet thing. I'm so excited for this. It's going to be hopefully it's going to be like a series of videos that can come out over months and years. Yeah. And so we've got this 1 poem, and we've invited 3 of our mates to create totally different. We literally just sent them the audio file of Holly's poem, and we went, go. Yeah. There are no rules. Just do whatever. And some people have written pieces around it. Some people have just chopped up the poem, and so it kind of, you don't hear the words, but it's a piece with bits of words in it, sort of thing. And then other people have not actually taken the sample at all, and just taken some of the words as lyrics and written a song. So it's really, really exciting. I can't tell you how. I think it's going to be something really, really special and unique. And we're going to release an EP of all the tracks alongside it too. And I'm really excited. Yeah. I think it's going to be really, really cool. So that's going to be released in May. Yeah. And
we're working on the edit now.
Yeah, it's going to be a long old journey to get the edit done. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But it was, as I said on the shows, it's wonderful hearing everyone's different interpretation. I think there was something that Holly said when we were on the Zoom together, just all meeting all of us together for the first time as well, which was really nice, but also just talking about the project. And I think she said something like, anything that I didn't imagine in my own head is amazing. Yeah. And it's so true that, like, we interpreted the piece in our way in October when we first heard it and created something to it, and it would be hard for us to hear it any other way. And then suddenly there's 3 other people here who have interpreted it in totally different ways, and we're like, wow, of course every single one is 100% valid and 100% amazing, but just wonderful to see people, everyone's lived experiences are so different, so that's what influences what you take out of something. I think it gave I think Ben as well said how it sort of gave him confidence in his like knowledge of poetry in a way of like seeing that everyone else interpreted it in slightly different ways, that he didn't do it wrong. He just did it differently, and he didn't miss anything because everyone picks out different things, and it's not missing, it's just selecting, it's just it's like the reverse of that. So that was all really cool, and we can't wait to share it all with you.
And if there's one thing we're also learning so much about like cross-disciplinary arts and stuff, and I was at a writing workshop a couple of weeks ago with Jordan from Rizzle Kicks, if you remember Rizzle Kicks, and we were talking about vulnerability and maybe why you don't share your writing as much as you could, or maybe why you don't write as much as you could. And I kind of, because it was a writing workshop and it wasn't specific to poetry or anything, so I was sort of there with my songwriter hat on, and my kind of thing was, well, I don't know if I've got the language or the vocabulary, and by that I mean like, and all the devices of I don't know all the technical terms of like something beyond a metaphor, or like the sort of language that comes with writing. And he was just like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. And like you just feel, and so I guess that was an interesting conversation in 5 Musicians, 1 Poet as well, in that there would be a lot in Holly's poem that we might not necessarily have the language to explain, but obviously we can all feel something and have an emotive response to something, and that's probably the most important thing. And I kind of feel quite self-conscious doing Open Collab sometimes that I don't have the vocabulary. It's funny that I keep stopping on that word. To kind of express how amazing I found the poem, and maybe I should be saying like, I really liked the way that you did the and the but we're musicians and we're not poets, and I don't have, I can't necessarily explain all of the devices that are happening, but you can give an emotive response or a musical response, and that's what I found really interesting about 5 Musicians, 1 Poet, is that we couldn't sit down and highlight Holly's poem in maybe the correct way and analyze it correctly, but we all gave a different yet correct response to the poem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't know.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun, really. Got a bit caught up in that. So next we have David Ralph Lewis and Kat Ballack.
Another wonderful conversation, collaboration between 2 different voices, different people.
Yeah, really lush.
Really cool. Yeah. I'd love to sort of, I think you were saying as well, I'd love to know more about how they wrote it, like what the pieces were before, and those little overlaps were really cool, that they sort of blended in and out, and like that. It seems to me like they recorded them totally separately, and then they were able to just piece them over. So parts of it weren't necessarily exactly in time in that overlap, but then some of it was, and it's like this lovely, like is it the Moray effect, where you have 2 different transparent films with grids on them, or with lines on them, and you move them around, and the interaction between them creates incredible effects. And sometimes it all lines up, and you just see 2 like grids of lines that are totally in line, but then you start moving it and immediately it's just all this beautiful shapes. It felt a little bit like that in those moments, which was really cool. and yeah, and also like such a space that they created, such a mood and feelings and the emotions that were very inspiring to create music to. It's just, yeah, it flowed really
It
easily
did.
for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do? What did we do?
Oh,
you play piano? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I played some piano. A bit inspired by a composer, Astor Piazzolla, who's a Spanish composer. He's done a lot of stuff.
Tango-y vibes.
Yeah, tango and Latin American slow, passionate music that he creates. It's very, a lot of it's quite mournful and sorrowful, or beautiful and luxurious, and yeah, it's just sort of inspired by. I used to play a lot of his music, and it was really nice, and so we created a little moment of that here, and inspired by that, but it was also inspired by the scene that they set for us. It was really cool. It just like one of those ones where it's like, oh yeah, that's what that needs.
What's that then? Yeah.
And then we'll just create it, and it was lovely.
Yeah. Really nice. We are the goddess.
Oh yeah.
We are the goddess. Oh,
This
I
one was
loved
really
this
good.
one.
Yeah, fantastic poem. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
So this was Julie Easley with We Are the Goddess. Yeah, and so Jake whispered the first stanza. Really cool.
Yeah, just lovely. I loved playing with the rhythms and the echoes of that, and panning around. I hope that you listened to this one with headphones on. If you didn't, then go back with headphones on or good speakers that are good for stereo, and listen, because I did a little bit of like panning of the echoes, so they sort of like we are, they're coming around you.
Oh, stop
like
it! Show off.
That was good fun though. It was really, and like the effect of like a whispered, the intensity of a whispered voice is quite evocative anyway. Of just like, oh, gotta listen in, lean in closer, and this is secret and special and like a bit mysterious, but then also throwing the voice around with the echoes, and they're coming back not necessarily the same words, because there's lots of different phrases going on, like the she is the goddess, we are the essence, and just like lots of voices in the head, and this amazing space. And then her delivery was awesome as well, just like,
Well, that's what she did, didn't she? Whispered the
she
beginning.
did, yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
So that's where we got it from.
Yeah. And loved the space in the way that she read it out as well, and I think that led into like the space when you then sang the whole piece, just like this swirling soundscape of whispers and the rumbly strong piano that was underneath it, and then your voice just sort of soaring over the top and singing her very, very singable
Very
words.
Singable. Very singable.
Yeah, that was an awesome piece. Very
For
fun.
she is the storm wearer. What an
Yeah,
amazing
he sang
line.
that a lot. That was really cool.
Tell you what she does. She wears the blooming storm. Lovely.
Powerful.
Ah, so good, Julie. We
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to listen to that back.
Yeah. Better go and do that after this.
Hey, we should say, we said at the beginning, but if you do have any questions about the show, how we did certain things of certain pieces, or don't know, anything really, what you should have for lunch, we're happy to answer any questions. So yeah, just do a comment in the old chat.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have Miggy. For me, the paper was navy blue. What an amazing piece this is. Talking about a child that has the universe in their dungarees pocket. It's just beautiful. I'd love to listen to that back, actually, because, I was really in it, and I was ripping out that paper and having a lovely time. And actually, I didn't hear Miggy's poem in as much detail as I did when I heard it without anything, because I was focused on the paper. So I'd love to listen to the whole thing back. Yes, we wanted to do something playful and something that represented kind of curiosity and this amazing image of this little one in their dungarees and they've spilt juice down them and everything. It's so cute.
Magical.
So you had your kalimba, didn't you?
I did.
Is it in the box? No,
No,
it's over there.
Yeah, I did something that I love to do. I've got a lovely button here.
Oh, should I get the old
Old
second camera?
Yeah.
Here you are then.
Okay. Got a lovely button here called Grab Jake, which when it's set up correctly, just here, so I can then play a single note and then grab it. And that grabs the note. And let me just switch over to Miggy because I want to get the arpeggiator on as well. And then up on Ableton Live, we've got the sound is there. I don't know if you can see that in there. The sound is there, and then I can play it on the keyboard and arpeggiate through it, and then play all of those notes, and it'll just swirl around in this magical way that is.
Can you show us something else? Can you do something with your voice?
Yes, on the grab.
Yeah.
What shall I do? One of these?
Or your voice.
Voice? Voice. Voice. Bit of fun. And something else.
That sounds really cool. Right, write that down. We'll use that next time.
Yeah. What else is there that we could do? We could do like a... Oh, what about this? Oh, that's me saying, what about this? That's nice. Save that for later.
Bit of fun. Don't mind it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
dear. Hours of fun.
Yeah, hours. I think we did it with dropping a coin into techno bees.
Love it.
Yeah. Very true. Dropping a coin into water as well, so it's like
Oh, yeah, that was
for
cool.
After drop, was it?
Yeah, for Laura, yeah.
Yeah, for Laura, who that was the sample that we created for her that she
Yeah,
talked
she
about in
said,
her little
yeah.
birthday message. Yeah. Oh, that's too fun. Okay.
Bit of fun.
And then you created loads of beats out of the paper in the box that was incredible as well. Just
Yeah, I
like,
didn't expect to do that. That was fun.
yeah, and created a beautiful piece of
Oh.
art out of it as well.
Yes, well, look at my beautiful decoration.
It's lovely. So playful. That was a really lush poem, and
Do you know what? Initially, I was trying to remember how to make one of those things that you do at primary school, the like origami, like choosing games, where you go like that. You know what I mean? I was trying to remember how to make that, and then trying to neatly do that, but all with quite a lot of noise. And I gave up on that quite swiftly.
just ripped it to shreds
Yeah.
instead. Well, it worked really, really well. That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that piece.
Yeah. Oh, and then we looked back at everything, and what Open
How
Collab
long
has
did
meant
that
to us.
take you to edit together?
Yeah, quite a while. It was really nice though, just listening back to everything, and there was so much to fit in. I wanted to just play every single one that we loved, but I had to keep it down to like a few seconds from each. Yeah, Julie says, "I loved what you did with the Storm Wearer." I wrote that poem from the last stanza up. All right. Okay.
That's an amazing thing to think about. how poems come together, and it's the same with songs, isn't it? I've been teaching songwriting at the moment, and I've kind of been saying, look, let's go chorus first. Obviously, you can do anything in any order, but to kind of key stage 3, I'm kind of saying let's do chorus first. Let's do the thing that you want to be repeated, that is the core of the message of what you want to put across. And so that's really interesting. Last stanza first. Wow. Yeah. Comment in the chat. Tell us, like, I'd love to know that. Tell us how the poem that was in this Open Collab came together, like what order it all, the puzzle all came together. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, look back. I think I interrupted myself, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was really lovely to look back at everything. And also, just to announce, I don't know if we've officially announced it yet, that there is now an archive page on the website where you can you can scroll through every single live show that we've done for the last year, and all of them also, apart from last night's, because I haven't done it yet, but all of them also
it's not good enough.
I'm sorry. Have the list of all of the collaborators and their pieces immediately underneath it, and you can click on that and it will take you straight to YouTube and the bit of the show that is their piece. So that is opencollab.co.uk/archive.
Archive.
That's the one. And you can just, they're all there. Just scroll through the whole page and delight in all of the wonderful, magical worlds that we've created around poetry over the last year.
That's lovely. And it looks really, really nice. You've done a really good job. You're welcome. All right.
That's a bit of fun. Yeah. Then this incredible piece, which still not quite sure how you managed to do it in just like 48 hours.
I don't know how we did it.
And just,
incredible.
Yeah,
so this is Catherine O'Driscoll with The Moons Part 1 and 2. Although I think I've seen her refer to it as The Moons, which I like. So I think what I might do is, have a chat to Catherine probably, but what I'd quite like to do is make a separate video where I kind of talk you through the track a little bit more in a bit more detail, because there was quite a lot going on, and I'm really, really, really proud of it. But yeah, maybe I could just do a few things. Like maybe if we listen to the intro, and I can talk you through bits of that. Maybe.
Yeah.
Have you got access to that?
Yes. We'll listen and then come back to live, because we won't be able to hear ourselves over the video. But yeah.
The everyone theory full level the moon. 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 The everyone. What if the moon loved you? And what if you woke up one mint green morning and tucked under your duvet beside you was the moon? Its sly silver smile might win you over. You might find your eyes sneaking another look, and every few minutes you'd gasp, newly astonished again, a mouth overfilled with wonder, and say, "Wow! Look! The moon!"
I'm like listening to it thinking, what's that sound?
How did I do that? I can't remember, because it was 3 a.m. when you finished it.
So in that intro, obviously there's lots of like Catherine all chopped up, like the everyone ever the moon. Like, that's all just little chops, and I particularly loved the moon. That kind of so melodic kind of attack of that word. So that comes up actually way later. There's like a every bar there's like a beat going on, and then we get the moon as like a repeated thing. And then also the really like weird melody that's like da 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 ba 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 ba. That one. That's all Catherine's vocals, performance vocals. Well, yeah, it's performance, isn't it? Stretched out 3 times slower, I think. 2.7 actually. actually. It's 2.7 times slower. And then I did this whole big recording of the whole poem. So it was like 15 minutes of stuff, just like Dory in Finding Nemo doing the whale impression, right? And then
she's talking the whale. Whale.
Yes, just when Dory's talking to the whale, and and then I chopped up bits of that, and I actually didn't repitch anything. That's the exact pitch of what it became when it was slowed down. So that's all kind of, and I think I put it on the keyboard and then played her slowed down vocals into a really weird lunar melody.
Yeah.
But I think maybe I'll talk about, because there's all sorts going on, and that's just the music, let alone the actual poem and the video as well. So it might be cool for us all to get together and kind of talk about all elements of that collab, because it was immense. And as we said, like the video that Simon put together in less than 5 days, Simon and Gronya and Robert, was amazing.
Yeah.
And sitting in the bath, I really want to know about that mask.
Yeah.
The moon mask, did they make that especially? Did they already have that in their house? If so, what a coincidence!
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. So that's really exciting, and we loved it. And it's just, I think it shows that there's a lot of creative people that have missed being really creative. And this year, and you give them a project and an amazing poem like that, and we're all like, okay, here we go. It's happening now. And I think it's just one of those things where we just caught a lot of people at the right time. To do something mad. And really, I just can't believe it happened. But maybe we'll talk about that more another time, because I would love to hear how Catherine put it all together, and it's such a rich poem. And the image of the moon sat in the bath is immense, and Gronya looked great in the bath with her makeup and stuff. So cool.
Good.
That was
Catherine's just said
fun.
as well, the moons were two poems that were a pair, but when merged together they both made more sense, and I liked them like that. I then interchanged a couple of stanzas so the merge wasn't so abrupt.
I'll tell you what I would love to know is when one stops and when one begins, and whether I kind of got it right, because I was trying to work out which is one and which is two, and I think it was the line. It was like near the empty plates. I was like, it must be there because we're in a different location now. But that I might, I don't know. So that would be interesting.
And just,
yes.
Do a whole video. Get Simon involved and see how he managed to put that all together.
That's what I thought it was. Yes. Come on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That was amazing to experience, because you obviously had been in the track so much throughout the week, and talking with Simon, and had sort of worked. I mean, he sent it through on like Friday evening or something. So
Friday
we didn't
midnight.
have much time to sort of process it, but it was amazing to, for me, because I hadn't been involved in any part of it in any big way really at all.
Which is really rare.
But to see the whole thing was phenomenal, really, really cool, and definitely something that will, hopefully the stars will align again on a future piece, and it'll all just magically happen again, because that was incredible. And but as you say, I think lots of conversations need to happen about that piece, and lots of phone calls and stuff, because I'd love to chat about it more. Oh, lush. All right. And then we came to the end of the show.
Yeah, and we had a lovely choir.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. If you were part of that choir, thank you so much, because I know it was it was a lot to learn that part and to video that for us. That was so lovely. I'm really emotional. And as I kind of said last night, Touch Hunger is such, it's become such a like anthem of what we're about and what, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say on that, actually.
Yeah. Embodied everything that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And have been attempting to create with Open Collab.
Yeah, and
really.
Special shout out to Mum and Dad for also sending in the sea as well in Dorset. That was lush. Yeah, it was really beautiful. And we're going to send that to Adam, who the piece was kind of written for and about, and that'll make him cry, I'm sure. We had a radio interview about a month ago about Touch Hunger with him, and we were all crying by the end.
Yeah.
It was, I've not done any sort of radio like that where it felt really, really genuine and really like we were just having a conversation that happened to be broadcast on Radio Bristol.
Yeah.
Which was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was stunning.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. Happy?
I think so. It was another example of musical accompaniment for us, coming alongside us on the stream with video as well, which is something we'd love to keep on doing. So that was really cool too. And
we're really sorry.
So, here's to many more. Don't know what else to say, really.
No. Well, that was lush. And if anybody has any questions while we chat now, then do ask away. But basically, thank you so much for such a lovely, lovely show. And also, it's really hard to take praise. We just can't do it. And so all those birthday cards, we were like secretly like, oh God, oh no, don't stop saying nice things. And like, I think, as we've said, like Open Collab, it's with Charlie and Jake, but it's also with a heck of a lot of other people as well.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful for this community that's really got on board with this pretty ridiculous night. It was amazing last night, and thank you so much. We're gonna go and have a big old walk, I think, and go to the pub and basically take a bit of a day off. But thanks so much for all your messages and emails and everything.
Yeah.
But it's very much out of office on for the rest of the day. Yeah. And we'll get back to you, and I'm sure you're like really want your video clips to put on social media, and we will absolutely do that in the next few days. But for now, I think we just need a bit of an afternoon off.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to go to the pub.
Yeah. And
we'll see you. We'll be around in May. I know we said we're taking a month off, but we'll be about, won't we?
Yeah. And we've got 5 musicians, 1 poem to work on and release and shout about and talk about. And then before you know it, we'll be vamping up for June's show and putting that together, and that's going to be really nice as well.
Yeah. Whew.
It's been a year.
Certainly has.
It's not wrong.
No. All right then. We'll leave you to your Sunday, but have a lovely time.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for joining us last night.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you can, because we saw that I think it was 50% subscribed watched last night and 50% not. So if you're on the 50% not, hey, do.
Well, I feel so compelled to subscribe now.
Oh, yeah, but we release videos all the time.
We do. Yeah.
Guys,
there's all sorts going on. And
we'll see you in a few weeks. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves. Good night.
Good night.
Good
No,
night.
good afternoon.
And good day.
Good afternoon, and enjoy the sun.
Yes, enjoy the sun. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks very much.